think I give a fuck?
Boys and girls, welcome back to the third episode of The Pattern, and in this episode we're going to take a look at my track Too Much, which was released on Heldeep Records. I can't remember when. We're going to jump directly into it. If you haven't heard the song already, this is how it sounds.
I got too much.
So that is how it sounds. In this breakdown, we're going to focus on the first break, the first build, and the first drop to make it easier and go in depth on the certain types of things that I've done. We're going to focus on the key elements, and for me, the key elements in this track are, of course, the vocal, which is on the break. We have a small melody in the break, and then we have the drop, which is fairly hard-hitting. You've got simple sounds, but also very strange sounds, and an easy melody on the drop. Alright, so let's jump right into it. Let's start with the vocal. So I'm going to take off everything right here. This is the vocal. This is what we have.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much. I got too much. I got too much.
This is, of course, my own vocal. Let's put everything back to the original state. And let's take off all the effects. This is what we're left with.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much. I got too much. I got too much.
So that is my own recording, which I recorded on my Rode microphone. This is a very simple vocal, very catchy, I think. In my ears, this is one of the most catchiest things about this track. And even by this recording, it is very low standard. Somebody could have recorded this a lot better and done a better job than me, but because of all of the processing that I've done, I've managed to get something quite manipulative and something pretty cool and, like I said, catchy. So let's go into the processing real quick. So we've just got our basic EQ here, taking out the lows. We have this plugin over here called M Harmonizer, and this right here, shifting the pitch, the formant and everything, is actually giving this basically more of a chorus effect.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
It's like a little bit detuned, chorusy, just playing with the settings in here to get something cool.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
So that's already a little bit better, you know, step up. And then, of course, our good friend Lil Alter Boy, and this is what is doing most of the magic and transferring my voice from my voice to too much voice.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
And then I've added a sound godizer. After that, push it out there in the mix even more. And then we have another M Harmonizer.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
Which is just destroying the vocal even more. From that point, I still didn't think that it was done. I've linked it to actually, oh, this is where I recorded it right here through this channel. Got RC20 on here.
You think I give a fuck? Nah.
So that's adding some distortion, and then I'm taking away some of the highs and the lows. I'm cutting them, and this wobble effect here is making it sound, I'm actually destroying the quality, but this is what I liked at the time, and it was something a bit wavy kind of thing.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
And we've got another EQ here, not as disgusting as last time.
You think I give a fuck? Nah.
And a wider, making it stereo.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
And then one of my favorite plugins, Easy Mix.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
And that is adding the reverb and the weird ambiance, as it says right here. So that is the vocal right there, and they're all of the effects.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
So that right there, that is a key element in this song. This is very catchy. For that reason, I didn't think there should be many other elements to clash with the vocal as much. So I brought a kick in here.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
Already that's pretty hard, right? And then I have a small melody here which counteracts with the vocal, and it goes hand in hand. Just open that up. Okay, so I didn't even have this last note here onto the actual song. It's very simple. It sounds a little bit messy when you're playing it by itself, but you got the sidechain on there. So combine that with the kick, the vocal, and you are left with this.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much. I got too much. I got too much.
So very, very simple stuff right here. Oh God, I'm not gonna keep saying simple. So this break is very basic, but you have all of the fundamentals there which you need. We have the three elements there, just the vocal, the synth and the bass, which go together, and then the kick. And on this patch right here, this is just a little square bass with a daft filter on there, and then playing with the envelope and the release time. And if you don't know here, this sound right here on the break is actually used in my first ever track on Spinning Records, my track called Discharge. So yeah, this is it. For me, this is a very massive sound, you know, it sounds like it's come directly from Massive. But I do like this sound a lot, and it goes very nicely with the square bass. So we combine them, like I said, you have all of those. From this point, I just wanted to take this vibe, just build it up, but not too aggressively. Build it up with the right amount of energy, and then float into the drop. All right, I'm gonna take away this over here because there's too many plugins and it's probably gonna crash my project. So let's use this one. This is just a bounced out version.
You think I give a fuck? Nah, I got too much.
Leading on to the build up, we have the vocal looping, and then we have some snares over here. Let's take away this stuff. Rising. We have the rest of the drums, which is the claps and the hats. Right here we are automating, as you can see, Endless Smile, which is giving it its reverb. We're building the reverb. I haven't used this plugin in a while, but Endless Smile is really good. We have like these little cymbals here. We have a little amen break. Snares back in. And then, like I said, the vocal. But also, which is from the drop, is this right here. So I have this on the build up as well, like I said in the previous episode, for familiarization. I'm going to go further into this once we're on the drop because that's one of the key components from the drop. So just building, building, building. Endless Smile right here. And also use the glitch plugin for a gate. So I'm using the glitch plugin here for a small gate. Is also kind of like a tremolo effect, and it's giving it the wobbling feeling. So let's hear that again. Right here. And I take it off right here. So it does give it a nice effect. And then we have the vocal come back in.
I got too much.
Little snare roll right here.
I got too much.
And then the claps. Once again, layered claps. So that is basically it for the break and the build. This is the drop. So let's take away what we don't need. I'm going to take away the drums right now. Let's remove all of the drums and everything. Now I've taken away all of the drums. This is what we're left with. What I like about this drop specifically is we have two different sounds. We have the main stab chord sound, and then we're going for a plucky sound after. And the contrast between those two sounds work really well together. So this right here is the stab sound. Yeah, so actually it was in a different key before. As you can see up here, it was a key change. First sound here, layering. Some extra layers. So let's go through these. We've got some EQ, sound gradizer, decimort, no! We've got decimort there, and volume shaper for the sidechain. This one here, the same one, and the before. Same again, EQ, and then the sub. Got some EQ in there. Not really doing much to these. This is a silent sub. That is that. Some weird sound, which isn't really doing much, but everything together combined sounds really good. We've got a little wub synth here. Everything combined, it sounds like this. So I consolidated that and put it down one semitone. And that is the pad right there. Now we move on to the plucky stuff. This is where a little bit more processing comes useful. So the sound originally came from this right here. This is the main sound right here. So we've got EQ, more EQ, disgusting EQ. This is not a nice EQ. Gorgon, which is distortion plugin, which I really like. This is actually the Gorgon, which is doing most of the stuff right here. He's got this little bit crush going on. Sound Geyser, volume shaper for the sidechain, more EQ, a wave shaper, a bit more distortion. And this effects chain is for the reverb, for automating the reverb. And then the last channel right here is only doing a little bit. EQ, isotope trash for effects, EQ, more EQ, and then another sidechain. And then that is it right here. But if we listen to it here, so as you can hear, I put the Gorgon and the distortion with the bit crush before the reverb. What that now does is that affects the reverb, because the reverb is coming after this distortion. So you can hear the little crackle in the reverb, because the reverb is actually being bit crushed. And to be honest, I didn't really like that. And it was actually a kind of mistake, but no one said anything. All right, there you go. And that is it for that sound. Moving on to the sub, I used Silent. We've just got some EQ. I've taken out the low end around 25, more EQ, and then sidechain. And then yeah, combined, I've just been automating the reverb here. That's what makes it more exciting. And then from then, because I had something simple, I had two main sounds. All I really needed to do then was alternate the melody line a little bit. So right here, I'm just changing it a little bit. So that is it for these sounds. Let's bring all the drums in now. Once again, we've got these little kicks right here. Layering the claps once again. Got this horn over here, which is playing on the stabs, which fill in some different frequencies there, which I liked. And what helps with the groove right here is, once again, these little kicks. Putting them in the gaps where there is no sub and then when there is no kick. So right here. If I remove that, it's boring. Yeah, it missed something, so I have that there. And then moving on to the second part of the drop, we have like this little section over here, which I did. So we've got the pads, and then I've just consolidated them and then pitched them to my liking to get this little chord effect. Got some crashes here, got these. I got this little effect which I put on the kick, which gives it that crunch. Vocal here. Aight. We brought some rides in there. Just keep flowing the energy basically. So that's kind of the whole drop right here. What I wanted to say was try and be creative with your synths and contrasting your synths. So using, say for instance, a pad and then a pluck, because they go well together. There's more of a larger sound in a pad, and then there's a shorter sound in a pluck, and they go really nicely together if you put them together in the correct way. For me, if you ask me why does this song work, I think the reason why this song, in my opinion, works is the fact that there is not too much going on. Once again, it's really simple. You have small melodies. On the break, we have a small melody, so it's not getting in the way of the vocal. On the drop, you have a small melody, so it's not getting too messy in combination with the vocal. So everything combined is a lot easier to handle and consume. So that is pretty much the track right there all together. I want to know from you guys, what do you think about this song? What do you think works about this song? Why do you like this song? So that is it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for the support recently. Sorry for the audio quality on the last episode. I hope this one turns out okay. Let me know what you want to see next. A lot of new stuff coming, a lot of new music coming, and I will see you in the next episode. Ciao, ciao.